Hello, everybody. I said that I would be back. So, for you guys out there, if you guys have been tuned in with me, let me turn on this other light too. If you guys have been tuned in on with me the last couple streams, we've been slowly working on some heldrakes. So, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. So, I was on a very long phone call with the wife, and so I was able to go ahead and so for the bases, right, I used a Vallejo earth texture, and so I went ahead, painted them brown. So I used oak brown, oak brown from Army Painter, which almost color matches. Sorry, let me grab it. So almost color matches Sterling Battlemire. You guys can see it's pretty close. And then I went ahead and washed the entire base with Agrax Earthshade, so you guys can see it's still drying here. Went ahead and washed all these bricks too with Sterling or the Agrax Earthshade as well. So they're gonna go ahead and dry up. So this is one base. Gonna let them dry, and then here's base number 2. So same thing. Went ahead, washed everything, washed the gun, washed the hatch right here with the Nolan oil. So those are drying, and then same thing with the last one. So this one only has a hatch and a bolter there, but other than that, it's just a bunch of rocks. So these are sitting off to the side drying, and we'll get to those here shortly. Now, yeah. So with our heldrakes, right? And so if you guys have been tuned in for the heldrakes, you know that we washed it earlier. We went ahead, we did the dry brushes, did some of the highlighting, and so at this point, so I highlighted. So I need to do the teeth, the mouth, the fleshy bits, and the bone. So, but this is where we're at with the heldrake, so you guys can see kind of one of the partially completed ones. And so you guys can see, so for the mouth, we're going to do multiple different colors of highlights, same with the eyes, and then these little things on the bottom. And then beyond that, so I actually forgot to wash down here in the armor. I can actually see. So let me go ahead and wash this one real quick. Where's my Druchii purple? There it is. Druchii purple or violet. So let me go ahead and wash this guy, and then I'll sit him off to the side, and we can start with one of the ones that are fully washed. I didn't realize that I missed a bit of washes down here, so. But normally I could maybe ignore it, but the purple wash definitely changes the tone of the skin. So I definitely want to make sure that the washes are there. Alright. So now he's washed. So I gotta let him dry for a few minutes. Sit him off to the side. So we'll start with a different one. So let's go ahead and do this guy. Yeah. Grab Heldrake number 2. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we'll start with the bone bits, because the bone bits should be pretty easy to do. So I'm going to use Tyrant Skull for all those. And so this is the same way that I do pretty much the bone on everything. It's just a method that works for me. So I just kind of maintain and keep doing the same thing, right? So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, I still want to do more with the hoses. I think the hoses are going to kind of be like a sticking point, and probably the last thing that I really finish on these. But might as well do the stuff that I know what to do with, right? Like the mouth and the teeth and stuff like that. So now for the Tyrant Skull, I'm just going to go ahead and dry brush this on. And so I hopefully you guys, if you're watching this later or if you guys are tuning in, hopefully you guys are enjoying my journey with the Heldrakes. We're getting them done. Goal is to have them done tonight, so this should be the last stream where you guys witness me painting Heldrakes. The next things I intend to tackle are going to be pink horrors. So I got pink horrors I got to do, and then I have a HQ, a Power Fist guy that I want to kind of get painted, because he's a possible contender for the way that I'm evolving my Poxwalker list. But I kind of messed with a version of it today, and I kind of like what I changed with it. So added a few more Poxwalkers, swapped in a Sorcerer over a Chaos Lord. So we'll see. We'll see. So, but just in case I do want to swap over to that Chaos Lord, that I got to get him painted. And so you guys might be able to see it's just very lightly dry brushed on the claws. It's just enough to make it look like, I don't do very much of it. If you want to do multiple, so you can make it lighter and lighter and lighter by basically just highlighting it over and over and over again to a tip. And that's more or less what I figured out. That's pretty much how they do like the super faded horns and stuff like that. You just kind of keep highlighting it until it like comes to the edge. But I did that with some Poxwalkers and that, or Plague Bearers, and that took forever. So now I just kind of just hit them, you know. And so that should be it for the claws. And then let's go ahead. The teeth are going to be the harder part on this guy. So let's go ahead and do his spine thing on the back here. Now tomorrow's live stream, we're going to talk about the Marine meta. We're going to talk about a bunch of lists, cool lists out there. So there's a lot of cool things going on. I'm going to read Bethany's thing about her Nurgle list. So that's going to be real cool. It's going to be a special, extra special treat for you guys out there. And so hopefully you guys will join me if you are watching this. And so I do have a few teeth on the butt here. Just going to kind of lightly hit them. And then the teeth up here. And so I just kind of drag it across the teeth a little bit. And it just adds a little bit of white to the edge. Not much. You don't really got to do like a whole lot, but there's that. So all of that is done for the spikes and the teeth. And so I'm just going to kind of press with the one model that I've got out. So beyond the spikes, I got to go ahead and do the flesh. So for the flesh, I'm going to be using orc blood to actually highlight it, which is purple. It's like a light purple. But it kind of turns kind of powdery almost looking. It's a great highlight for like, in this case, it's like pinkish purpley flesh. So I like the way that it looks. So I'm just going to use this for the highlight color for the flesh. And so for this, same thing. I'm just going to kind of dry brush it on my thing until I feel like it's nice and light enough that I can just kind of do a bit of a almost an edge highlight. So it's going to be hard to tell under the armor here. I'm just kind of hitting it a little bit. That way it's not ignored. But And so it's going to definitely deepen the purple a bit wherever I hit it, but that's fine because it's more or less turning it super purple. And then it's going to have like the pink kind of showing through at certain points. But that's what demon flesh is, you know what I mean? Like it's not going to be like human flesh, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of hit around everywhere. Hit under his wings here too. There's that. There's that. And then I got to get under the wing over here a little bit. That's it. So it turned it a lot more purple. And so some people might not like it. I really like the way that it turns out. But it just makes it more demonic flesh looking, you know what I mean? And so that's it. That is it for that color. Now I gotta do... Still not sure what I want to do with the hoses. So I am not 100% on the hoses yet. I mean, I could do some typhus corrosion. I could do... I mean, if I had like some sort of oily... You know what? I could always do like glistening blood or something. Almost like it's bleeding out of the hoses. But I don't know. I don't really like that idea either. Let's see, what other effects paints do I have? I've got... No, it's gunmetal. That's more metal. Take a drink. I don't have anything that's like oil. So that kind of makes it tough. Strong tone, flesh tone, dark tone. Let's see. Maybe I can like... There we go. I like that. So basically I'm just running this dark tone bottle over this, and it's just going to make it look almost like oil. I'm sure it's going to dry like really super dark black, but that's fine. Alright, and then we'll do a little bit more on his belly tubes right here. Because basically I want it to look like, you know, these tubes are just hemorrhaging oil everywhere. Because, you know, a demon engine is not well put together. What up, Baylor? Hi, buddy. I am, man. I am painting away. Right now, I'm just kind of hitting up these tubes real quick. Because I don't want them to... so I'm using dark tone right now to just kind of make them look super oily and just gross. Because I don't want them to really stand out, you know what I mean? So like the tubes in the back here, I just took dark tone and just kind of striped them more or less. Let it dry like that. Yeah. So we're going to let him dry up. So let me go ahead and sit him over here. So he's been highlighted though. Oh no. Where's that? All right. Nice. Hell yeah, man. No, it's awesome that you were able to come hang out with me, keep me company. I ain't got no one else here right now, so. But thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Appreciate the kind words, man. Yeah, right now we're just trying to get these to a point. So, I mean, I'm highlighting the teeth. I'm highlighting, doing the dark tone. I'm doing the, highlighting the flesh tone here. Which I'm just making it turn more purple. Because I like purpley tones for my, demon flesh. Or purpley or green. You know what I mean? Depending on what I'm kind of going for. But so right now I'm just hitting up all of this. But I'm pretty close to being done. Oh, I've seen that idea many times. And a lot of people recommend. It's funny too because a lot of people kept telling me like, "Oh, use the pen." It's like, you think I didn't think of that first? So, but yeah, definitely subassemble these whenever you do eventually get them. Don't put them together and paint them like me, like a dummy, because they're definitely a hell of a lot easier if you subassemble them. And same thing, you'll be able to get to like the little nitty gritty pieces that I'm having a hard time getting to paint. A lot easier, so. But you also have an airbrush, and I don't, so you're gonna have a much easier time with this than I did. So, hand brushing this whole thing has been a complete nightmare. But hey, they're turning out pretty good. I mean, they're definitely not like no golden demon quality paint jobs, but as long as they look good on the table, right? So, which I definitely think they're definitely above tabletop standard. Because tabletop standard, you know, I could have just been super lazy, but I always aim for above tabletop. Alright, so now we're going to highlight the claws here. But yeah, now I'm glad that this journey is almost to an end. So this will be the last live stream where I'm doing heldrakes. And then this journey is over, and then it's time to start painting pink horrors. So, but the neat thing is, so tomorrow I'm definitely not going to be painting. Tomorrow I'm going to be editing a lot of videos. I got another battle report in today against Blood Angels this time. So my buddy Connor came back from deployment, and today was the first day he could get out of the house to play, and he hasn't played, like he painted the new Mephiston and everything, but he hasn't gotten to play with the new Blood Angels. So he busted them out today, and we gave it a go. He had some really interesting ideas with the list, so, and yeah, I'll be bringing that one. And plus it gave me a chance to practice out the Poxwalkers again, so. Which I will say, Death Company against Poxwalkers. Poxwalkers definitely lose. Definitely lose that battle. I also learned that doctrines are at the beginning of the battle round, not during the player turn, which I thought that's how they worked. Which that gave me a rude awakening because his Blood Angels were able to go to the Assault Doctrine on my turn, and yeah, that definitely made a difference in certain things. So it was a fun game though. You know, got to test out a lot of ideas, and he got to test out some stuff. So it'd be fun. It'd be a lot of fun. He ran power axes, as a matter of fact, which I thought was like, I looked at it originally and I was like, what? Like, what are you doing? But then I saw what he was doing, and it's actually super brilliant. Because he saved a ton of points by doing power axes on him, but they were wounding PVCs on 4s, thanks to the +1 to wound and stuff like that. So, and yeah, then he's not hitting on 4s. He had Lamarty's too, which Lamarty's is, god damn, that dude is so beefy. Especially once that doctrine kicks in. Like, he one-shot a PVC by himself. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. I didn't know this was a thing. But yeah, it was pretty, he had a really interesting list. So, but I got to edit that battle report tomorrow. I also have a battle report against the new Astra Militarum that I'm editing. So that's another one in the pipeline. And then I've got to finish up some finishing touches on the Thousand Suns Tactica and some finishing touches on the new Get Started video for Thousand Suns to help out those guys out there that might want to know what they should probably end up going and buying for some Thousand Suns. So, but that's tomorrow's goal, is to edit all those battle reports and stuff. So I'll be doing the live stream. I'll probably be editing videos in the morning, then doing the live stream, then editing videos after the live stream. So okay, but yeah, he ran a bunch of power axes, and I thought it was super clever, because I'm used to facing a bunch of thunder hammers, but it gave him a lot of points for other stuff. So, like, he had a Leviathan Dreadnought, he had a Land Raider, which was interesting. Not exactly the best choice, but he had a Land Raider, because he was, that was his way of getting more las cannons in the list, because he had Devastators, which I haven't seen Devastators in a while. But yeah, he was able to plant all the Devastators inside the Land Raider, that way, you can't pick up all the Devastators turn 1. So, it was a clever idea, I liked it. It's definitely something that I have not faced yet, so. And so for these hoses, I'm just drawing basically black lines with the ink here. And then that way, when it dries, it'll hopefully look like oil on the hoses, because that's what I want it to look like. So I want it to be super deep black. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a really cool game. I learned a lot. He learned a lot. So and it'll be a good one. So sorry, I'm hitting up his belly a little bit on these hoses with the black. Reason why I'm doing it this way is because I found with the other one, it actually dripped up onto his metal there. So I don't want it to do that to this one. So for you guys joining me right now, right now we're just putting some finishing touches on ye old Heldrake. Basically, just drew some army painter wash over the hoses here. The dark tone. So basically I want it to streak and make it look like oil on all the hoses, right? So right now I'm just trying to let that dry. And then we went ahead and dry brushed all the claws and everything. So I need to actually sit this guy off to the side, somewhere where his wash isn't going to get on anything. So probably over here. And this guy should be ready to go. So swap to Heldrake number 3. There we go. Yeah, army painter washes, so at least for this part right here, just for doing the oil on the hoses. So I did Null and Oil on them, and I washed them real dark, but it was not dark enough for my liking, so that's why I'm going through and just doing this. So right now we're highlighting all the demon flesh purple. Basically just trying to deepen that pink into more of a purpley hue. Now it's kind of splotchy, which I kind of like, because, you know, demon flesh is not human flesh, so so I'm not aiming for like a nice smooth, like, oh hey, you know, it's a nice dry brush you got there. Like, yeah, I just wanted to look different. Get it right there. And we're getting his belly here. Yeah, I went really lazy with the hoses for these because the hoses, there's just so many of them, and I really hate painting hoses. Hoses are like probably like most people have a lot of things that they hate painting, right? For me, it's hoses, and this thing just has way too many damn hoses. They're just so annoying. Like, even on my knights, like for my knights, I tend to just put a lot of corrosion and stuff on the hoses. That way it just kind of, it hides them, because I don't care about hoses. I hate hoses. So I'm doing Tyrant Skull on his teeth. Just kind of lightly brushing the teeth here to just kind of give it a bit of a highlight, because I did do his teeth like a bone white. And then I'm using the Tyrant Skull on the tips of the claws for this one. So, and hopefully that guy over there is almost dry. Because once I do the tips of the claws, I'm going to go ahead and do the oil on the hoses, and then that'll be the point where I just sit them off to the side to dry. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out with me. If it's your first time hanging out with me, well, welcome. You guys have tuned in before, well, welcome again. I always enjoy having the same people over and over and over again. And it keeps me company. I'll tell you, the one thing about streaming and doing painting, it keeps you honest, right? Like, if I were to sit here and paint by myself, I tend to, like, kind of start slacking off or getting bored. But when I'm doing, like, with other people, it kind of keeps me motivated, knowing that you guys are out there painting other stuff, and whether it be your base coating or your highlighting or your washing or whatever it may be, just helps me to know that we're all doing this struggle together, because for some people, painting is a huge struggle, right? Honestly, I love painting, but I love painting models that I want to paint. Painting this Heldrake has been a chore, an absolute chore, so I'm definitely looking forward to being done with these 100%. And so I'm just doing a dry brush on the tail, just to kind of hit the ridges for the bone here. No, that's fantastic, man. Hey, as long as we're helping each other out, right? Yeah, and same thing. You always keep us apprised of where you're at with your Red Corsairs, so it's neat too, because like if you need feedback or whatever, if you're unsure about something, it's always good to have another person's idea. You know what I mean? Because there's been times where the chat, like, I'll be like, hey, I don't know what I should paint this, and you guys will give me ideas on how to paint something. And that's how I've come up with some like the wings for my demon prints that I really love. I forget who gave me that idea. There's someone. Might have been you, actually. Might have been you. But somebody was like, yeah, you should try for, like, this effect, and I tried it, and it worked out, so... And then hence I got good demon wings that I loved. Yeah, it was like somebody said do the insect wings or something like that, but all right. So at this point, I'm doing the hoses. So I'm just really like super. So this is dark tone, army painter dark tone. So I'm just super washing the hoses because, like I said, I don't care. So because hoses are terrible and I don't care. So I'm basically like just gooping it in there to make it look like oil drips. And I actually want it to look kind of sloppy, more or less. Almost like the oil is dripping off of him, you know what I mean? And just do a little bit here on the bottom. Like I'm just being messy as hell with this, and that's on purpose, you know what I mean? So, ooh. But that little drip I do not want because it's going to fall on something that I don't want it to be on. And there we go. So you guys can kind of see the effect we're going for with all the hoses. So you guys can see it's going to look hopefully really, really oily. But it just, without highlighting the hoses, it's going to just give that the different tones on the hoses. And that's just kind of, instead of highlighting it, it's just basically a reverse highlight. You know what I mean? Because I hate hoses. So I'm going to set him over here to dry. Okay. So let him dry. Let's go ahead and check in on our other two heldrakes and see where we're at. So at this point for the heldrakes, I just have to highlight the mouths. Let me double check everything real quick. Yeah, I'm down to the mouths. So, fantastic. I'm so excited right now. So let me go ahead. I'll give the heldrakes a couple more minutes to go ahead and dry because I need to actually shake up some paints. So now for the green one. So I did goblin green, or was it goblin green? Yeah, it was goblin green, I think. Yeah, it was goblin green that I did. So for him, I need to do snake scales and jungle green. And then for the blue one, because he started out with deep blue. Yeah, deep blue. So I need to go with electric blue and void shield blue. So let's go ahead and shake some up. And then I'll check and see where we're at. Now I do need the Tyrant Skull for the bases. So I can't put that away. And I do need to get Jokira Orange out for the bricks. And then I need this for the rocks. And I've got that for the base rocks. And then I need silk. Actually, for the stuff on the bases, I'm going to do typhus corrosion. Because like the weapons and stuff that are on the ground, I just want them to be kind of corroded and rusty a little bit, almost like they've been sitting there for a while. So get my rise of rust out too. So no, that's awesome. So and I love the way your red core, your Alpha Legion look freaking fantastic. Like I kind of wish I could do that. I absolutely love the effect that you got with the Alpha Legion. So no, I'm glad that it's helped you out, man. And that's what we're here for, right? We're a community. We help each other out. So none of us are 100% right. We're all entitled to our own opinions, whether it be for painting or gaming or whatever. Trust me, there's sometimes like some of the chats I get just pissed off talking to some people because we just don't see eye to eye at all. But it is what it is, right? We're human beings, and that's and everybody sees something different. So, but it's still good. You know what I mean? Like, I can disagree with somebody and not like what they have to say, but I still respect what they have to say. And yeah, But yeah, 100%. I love the way your Alpha Legion's turning out. I love the way your Red Corsairs are turning out. So if you guys are tuning in, you know, we do have a Discord channel. You guys can see it down there on the bottom. But yeah, share your models. You know what I mean? If you're on the paint stream and you guys want to show what you guys are working on, that's where you guys can post it, because obviously you can't post them inside there. Finally broke the ball loose. I can hear it break loose. But yeah. Oh, crap. I need red, too. Just realized. So I use Dragon Red, and then Pure Red, and then... It just sucks because when I mix Pure Red with like a white, it turns like pink. It really... White... For some reason, red is one of those colors I just have a horrible... Oh, wait. No, I was going to do fire. So I was going to do orange and yellow. That's where I was going to go. So... I liked the other ones personally. I didn't really see a difference in the effect. You know what I mean? And that just might be me. I think, honestly, you could go with either one. If you personally are more happy with the Tamiya, I would just do what you're happy with. You know what I mean? Either way, they look phenomenal. So I absolutely loved them. White and tans, yeah. I have a hard time mixing red. Whenever I try to mix a red color, like, it just does not turn out for me at all. So sorry, guys. I'm literally, this is going to be like a couple minutes of me mixing paint. Got to get them all mixed up, you know. It's the only crappy part about the dropper bottles versus the Citadel ones, because Citadel ones, you can just kind of shake them up a little bit, and they tend to... But the dropper bottles, like, until the ball breaks loose. Alright, so... He's still wet, but he should be alright. So I'm going to go ahead and put these upside down over here. That way all the paint, if it's not well mixed, you know what I mean, I can kind of shake it up a little bit. I actually use my little paintbrush holder. I wish I could show you guys. The paintbrush holder, like, it's got all the little slots in the bottom. I just put them upside down and lead them on the paintbrushes. That way all the paint settles towards the tip. Okay. So let's see where we're at. Oh yeah. So hopefully you guys can see. So the wash, because I pulled it up so heavily here, it's drying more or less like a gloss, and it's kind of obscuring the details, but it looks like oil now. So which is exactly what I wanted to do. So you guys hopefully can see on the back of all these hoses. So I'm hoping that when it's fully dry, it still maintains like kind of that same effect. Because that's kind of what I was aiming for. That makes me really excited, though. Yeah, that makes me really excited, because that's 100% what I was going for. Sorry, I'm checking his neck. His neck is still drying a little bit, so I just got to watch out. Yeah, that's awesome. I love how that turned out. Look at that! We're learning new effects, because I just 100% on a whim was like, hey, I wonder if this will work. So hopefully we'll see as he dries whether or not it stays. But okay. So let me check my greens real quick. I want to make sure that these greens, because they don't look too different from the bottle. Yeah, I want to mix this one a little bit with Goblin Green. Is that the color I used? Sorry, let me check it against... I want to check it against the mouth real quick, because I'm not sure if this is the color I used. It is not. That is not the color I used. Alright. Sorry, guys. Let me mix up this Goblin Green. Because Snake Scales is way too close to the Jungle Green. So... And I definitely don't want to mix up two colors that are too close to the base color, because then it's not going to give me the highlight that I want. So now what I'm doing for the mouths, trust me, I am being lazy with this. is I'm just basically just highlight for the eyes, the mouth, and the chest piece for the heldrakes. I'm just basically doing like a glow highlight, and that's it. And that's because I don't. That's my way of differentiating them. But there's a lot of detail in the mouth if you really wanted to like get down in there and get really into it. For me, it's not that big of a deal. So, god damn, dude, this goblin green did not mix up well either. I'm sorry. I know. So much fun watching someone mix paint. Come on. Turbo shake. Alright. Let's see if it mixed up now. There we go. It was still separating. I was like, god damn it. Just stay together. Alright. There we go. Cool. Let's see. This might actually be too close to this color too. It's still not. Yeah, it's not really showing a difference. Alright. I'm going to mix this green with this green. There we go. Ha ha! Now we made a green that I needed. I just mixed two greens to just try to get, because it was really still close to the, and I couldn't remember what green I'd used for the, yeah, there we go. Alright, there's that. And so for the chest here, I just got to hit these little orbs here with the green that I mixed up. And then same with his, so basically I'm just going to do like a, almost like a, just a light in the middle. Crap, I'm gonna run out of paint, I think. That's the problem when I mix colors and I run out, is that I might not have enough to do everything that I wanted to do. Crap. Shit. Alright, time to mix some more. Hopefully it turns out the same. So a bit of goblin green, and then about equal amounts of this other green. Mix it up. Oh yeah. Turned out the same. Cool. Because I also need it for the eyes too, so. So we're just kind of just putting a little bit in the center here. Yeah, it is, and especially when you're just kind of ad-libbing a color, you know what I mean? So just a little bit there in the center, so hopefully it looks kind of a little glowy, you know what I mean? And then for the eyes, I need my really thin brush here. I'm just going to kind of go in and just try to hit not take. There we go, just a little bit right there. And a little bit right there. here in the mouth, I'm just kind of going in and just kind of edge highlighting a few areas. Because I am going to use a white on top of everything. I don't just kind of end it on a green. White to me is really, it just helps it pop a lot. So I will come back through and just kind of. And yes, like I said, this is me being lazy for the mouths. Because you could come in here and like paint the gun all crazy or whatever you wanted to do. But for me personally, I'm so there we go. So hopefully you guys can see the gradient tones there. So I'm going to set the green one up here out of the way. And let's go to the blue one. Now the neat thing about the green one is now I know that I'm down to this green. I don't have to mix any greens. And then I need white too. Or do I want to do light gray? Because sometimes light gray is just as good as white, if not better. Ash gray? No, that's not. Like, sadly, so GW has a great color, Uthuan gray, that is kind of like an off-white gray. I really, really love that color. As a matter of fact, I do have a brand new pot of it, but I thought I had a mixer bottle of it. This is, oh, there it is. There's Uthuan gray. So, but yeah, I really, really, really enjoy Uthuan gray. As either a base coat, there's a lot that I do with Uthuan gray, but I love it. I absolutely love it. So, all right. Oh yeah. So hopefully, I'm really stoked about the fact that the oil, the oil idea is working. I'm so stoked right now because it does. It just makes it look super grimy, and that's what I was going for. Oh man, sometimes your dumb ideas work. My dumb ideas. Not saying anybody else's dumb ideas. It was my dumb idea, but it worked. So electric blue is definitely a. The neat thing is with Army Painter, it's just like GW paints, right? If you guys buy like the Army Painter sets, they give you like the gradient colors up. So this is actually how I've been doing my plasma stuff lately, and it's worked out fantastically because they gave me all the colors I needed. And so I'm going to show you guys kind of how this turns out here in a second. And so I'm doing basically the same thing as I did with the green, just with the blue. Excuse me, I just burped. And hopefully you guys can see this effect in the camera. And so, as you guys can see, it's just getting darker and slowly. No, it is a chalky paint, and I kind of like that. So, I like it because it's really good for rocks and stuff like that. But yeah, it is very chalky compared to like normal white. Okay, so for the blue, let me get his eye. Right there. Cool. Alright, so I got the eyes. And now we're going to go ahead and dry brush the mouth. So neat thing is, I know that this is already going to super pop here in this mouth. So now I did wash these mouths with their applicable ink color too, so it's not just a flat color. I did an ink as well, or the tones, sorry, for Army Painter. So if it is like if it is turning out like it looks like multiple colors, that's because I did do like a wash of their specific colors. So, but you guys can see, you know, we got the mouth, we got the eyes, we got the belly here. So let's set him off to the side and let him dry up. And let's move to the red one. Hopefully the red one is drying up just as good as the other ones are. Yep. Red one is drying up just as good as the other ones. Yeah, Uthman Gray is great for dry brushing too, definitely. So now for this guy, I need orange and yellow because I'm doing like a flamey style thing for him. So unlike the other two where it's going to be like different shades of the same. Let me tip up the jungle green too because I'm going to need that. Ah! No! I'm super stoked right now. I'm super excited. Sorry. I don't need leather brown. I don't know why that's down here. It goes over there. Sorry, I'm moving colors out of the way as I finish with them. But once again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Going on an hour now. Ah, crap. I think part of the reason why I'm so hopped up is I had a whole pot of coffee like 2 hours ago. This is the rest of it. It's cold. Yeah. Cold coffee sucks. It's like I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew. You know what I mean? But I have quit energy drinks. So if you guys have watched the channel for any period of time, you knew that I was really hooked to energy drinks. So... Oh yeah, I have Uniform Gray. It's really awesome. I love it. It's just like because the Uthman Gray is so light and Ash Gray is like Ash Gray is so much I should probably do it here. It's a lot darker, so they don't really have a comparable color to Uthman. So there's still certain colors that I'll probably go to GW for, you know what I mean? But I will say like this necrotic flesh color, freaking fantastic. Where the hell has this been my whole life? Because it was amazing for Necrosius. I absolutely loved it. It's so good. Alright. Let's go ahead and start with orange. Hopefully it's together. Yep. It's good to go. So the way I check the paints to see if they're separating, this is, I'm sure y'all already know this, but... is just to see if the paint itself is like separating from the, you'll see like the clear paint separating from the color, and so that's how I know whether or not I mixed it thoroughly enough for these little dropper bottles. Down to 2 energies a week. Yeah, it was quitting energy drinks was probably one of the hardest things I've had to do. It also, you know, I've been drinking them for pretty much 13 years since I joined the military. And so, but I will say that I feel a hell of a lot better now that I've quit energy drinks. It was rough. It was definitely rough to stop. But, I do definitely feel a lot better. I even told my wife, like, before I would wake up and be, like, craving energy drinks, like, so horribly, like, I don't know. It was really bad. And now, though, I wake up in the morning, and I've even gone days where I haven't even drank caffeine until, like, noon, and I'm pretty much okay, like... Though I will say an iced coffee is delicious. And so for this one, I am doing like more of a flamey idea here on the chest and the eyes and the mouth. And so I can go ahead in here and do the eye real fast. Do his other eye real fast. So I gotta watch out because my fingers are getting really damn close to this spots that haven't dried yet, so from where all the oil was put. And so for his mouth, so I wanted to do like flamey colors for this mouth just because, I don't know. I figure like one Heldrake should look kind of flamey, so. Alright. The paint's too wet, it's not allowing me to dry brush it, so there we go. I hate when the paint's too wet. It's like, let me dry brush you, damn it. Honestly, Rise of Rust might have worked alright for this too, but yeah, Necrotic Flesh is just, it's so good. Like, where the hell has it been my whole life? Like, the first time I used it, I was like, oh, what the fuck? So awesome. I'm super stoked. Super stoked. And I am super excited to be close to done with these Heldrakes. Oh my god. Best day ever. Alright. So we've got the orange, and we'll let him dry up. So the next step for him is yellow. Okay. So I'm going to rotate through as we go. So next we're going to go back to the green one. And so this is pretty much the last part here. And then, like I said, I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a glowy effect with this Uthuan Gray a bit. But yeah, I mean, we're getting there, man. So right now I'm just taking, what color is it? Jungle green? So moot green is more or less jungle green. So if you guys ever try to do this effect, it's the same general purpose. So this is the same thing you would do for like Necrons and stuff like that. But I'm going more for a overall effect on the model, not a... like this would definitely be easier to do with like an airbrush where you just like 3 different colors and be done with it. But gotta do what I can do, right? And so there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and hit his eye real quick. So when I do the eyes and stuff, I need to make sure it's more like a pinpoint, because I want it to look like it's radiating out from a point. I don't want it all to be like the same color green, you know what I mean? There's that. Make sure I make it a point. And then also with this green, I'm going to kind of go around the eye a little bit. That way it looks kind of like it's glowing. All right. And then... see, this green didn't mix well either. God damn it. This is the only thing I hate about Army Painter paints. Because sometimes they don't mix well. Alright. There we go. Hopefully that's good. Because it was very it was like almost watery, but it wasn't quite like, yeah. It's hard to explain. It definitely was not the consistency I was aiming for. So. You know what? Actually, for this, I'm not gonna do a. I'm gonna do a edge highlight. I'll show you guys kind of where we ended up. Yeah, the acrylic medium might be a good idea to kind of get it to mix better. It's just kind of like gooping up. It's not really like, I don't know. It's not doing what I want it to do. But, and that actually might be a good idea. But at this point, I'm just going to do a bit of an edge highlight for this. Just kind of going around the rim of the mouth here. I'm just hitting like the ridges. I'll show you guys kind of what we're looking at here in a minute. It's more or less how I like do the when I do Nurgle's Rot and stuff. It's kind of what it feels like. Except, you know, I'm not doing any Nurgle's Rot on anything today. Alright. So let's see. Well, hopefully you guys can see it there. So you guys can see I kind of edge highlighted just around the tongue a little bit. And kind of where the creases are. Put a little bit in the corners of the mouth there. So that way it gives it a little bit of glowing. And then here on the chest, that's where we're at. So as far as the Uthuian Gray, right, I kept illuminating that I was going to use this. So the reason why I use this over white is that I don't want it to be like, I don't know, it just looks different than white, and I don't know how to really pinpoint it, but I just like the effect it gives over white. Because hopefully you guys can see it's like gray. It's like a light gray as opposed to a white. And for some reason, for me, it's more pleasing to the eye using it. Now I am overusing it. I got way too much on my palette here, but that's fine. And so for this little bit, I'm just kind of going to do like almost like a that way it just looks like glass or something is glinting on the belly here. And so you guys can see I just kind of gave it little, just that way it just gives it a little bit of character, you know what I mean? And then up here on the eye, just kind of edge highlighting the eye a little bit. edge highlight the eye on this side a little bit. So there we are. So this is a completed Heldrake. And there's our belly. And the green one is Kaputs. He is done. Yeah! So much excitement. And for you guys who might not know, so for the any models that I complete here on the live streams, I do put pictures up on our Facebook, and I do put pictures up on our Discord channel. Sorry, let me go back to him. I just realized that he was kind of off the camera a little bit. So let me bring him down a little bit more for you guys to see. But that way you guys can actually check him out. And so right now his hoses are still drying, but they're definitely going to dry how I wanted them, where they look all oily, you know what I mean? And so there's the wing. More of a side profile. But any models that we finish here on the live stream always get posted up on the Facebook. They do get posted up on the Discord channel. So, yeah, that way you guys can see, like, more pictures of it. Achievement unlocked. Yeah, it does feel like an achievement, man. It does feel like an achievement. That is true. I think he turned out pretty good, though. I like him. I'm really happy with the way that he turned out. So next we got to do the blue one. So same thing, rinse, repeat, except with different colors, right? So the next step will obviously be matte, matte varnish on these guys, but okay. And so we're gonna do the same thing, just with the sky blue on this guy, or electric blue. What is that? No, void shield blue. Sorry. I know this is a super basic effect, but it works. It's really good for like lenses. It's really good for like visors, stuff like that. But it's doing what I want it to do here. Alright, so there's that. And we gotta go ahead up to the eye. Same thing. Little bullet point on the eye, and then just kind of edge highlight a little bit around the eye. That way it looks kind of like it's glowing a little bit. And then I'm gonna come in here to the mouth. So same thing. I'm gonna do the same edge highlighting that I did with the green. So this is going to pop a hell of a lot more than the green did. The green actually was kind of subdued compared to this blue. So hopefully it'll stand out a lot more on the camera when I show you guys. So we're going to come into the mouth here. I also really like the way blue glows look. Like plasma glows and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just very, very pleasing to me. I really like when people do like the orange plasma too. That's super cool. Reminds me of like a Jedi lightsaber. Like an orange lightsaber. Alright, let's come in here. Damn it, come on. Ah! No. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Okay, I need to get down in here a little bit. These mouths have like quite a few ridges and stuff. So I'm trying to get down in there. And so same thing, we're going to take that Uthwayan Gray. I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did for the blue, or the green. And I'm going to edge highlight the eyes a little bit. Alright. And then there's the blue one. So there's his belly. Move him down a little bit. And if you guys have already seen the other one, I'm just going to kind of show off his mouth and face here. So you guys can kind of see. I know it's a little harder on this side, but because of the way the face moves. There we go. So there's the blue Heldrake. And then the last one is going to be the red one. Yeah. And then we get to do basing. Which the bases actually look like they're dry at this point. So that's really good. Now I do need to mix the yellow. I didn't actually mix up the yellow while I was doing the other stuff. What are y'all painting out there? Faye, are you still doing the Red Corsairs? I see that I have a bunch of viewers. Tell me what you're painting right now. Or if you're not painting. Maybe you're just watching me paint. Can't be just a one-way conversation. If you want to be quiet, you can be quiet. That's fine. But, yeah, we're down to doing this guy, and then we got to do the bases, and then I get to show you, well, hopefully I'm going to have to, like, move the camera to actually show you guys what they look like on the flight stance, so. Alright, so we got yellow. And we're going to do the same thing. Voila. So let's start in the belly here. And same thing. I'm going to draw just a yellow line right here. Nice. Yeah, I'm one of the people that I base my models after I put them on the bases. So I never work on bases separately. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. I have found I'm an incredibly lazy hobbyist because I tend to prefer playing the game. I am getting a lot better, but a blow drone. Hey, what's up, Nurgle's Gift? Hell yeah, man. Is it a mower drone or is it a spitter drone? Yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully I'll still be here when you come back. Probably will be. Still got basing to do. Yeah, I've only painted one of my bloat drones. I need to eventually paint the rest, but got other things I gotta do. But Sorry, I need to just kind of, I need to take a different approach for this one because it's not just edge highlighting, you know what I mean? So I need to actually more or less like do a real dry brush in the mouth. Spitter drone, hell yeah. Spitter drones are awesome. I love me some spitter drones. Well, hopefully it's turning out good for you. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry guys, just kind of trying to focus here a little bit. This one kind of messed up a little bit. Oopsie. I mean, it'll still be alright, but he's not as pristine as the other two. And same thing, let's get the Uthuan Gray here. That'll be neat that I'll actually have these painted for battle reports. I mean, hopefully I can take them out for a stroll here soon. And a little bit of white around the eyes. Alright. So, and then there's the red drake. And so like I said, I kind of messed up a little bit around the face here. So you guys can see I did it really heavily on lines here. But then when I went to this side, I kind of didn't do it nearly as heavily. So I messed it up a little bit. I don't think many people will really notice because the way that they, you know, face on the table, they more or less face down, so I don't think anybody's going to notice too much. You know what, let me go for my own personal, right, it's actually kind of driving me a little nuts. Let me go in and fix that, because that's pretty big disparity there. Just got to kind of see where I need to do the same thing. So right there. There, right there. And a little bit on the okay. That way it looks more or less the same. Because that was going to drive me absolutely batshit crazy. And so yeah. So all three Heldrakes are done. So like I said, once we finish the basing, I will go ahead and show you guys. Now you're going to notice with my bases, I did accidentally spray this here. I don't know. Let's test him on here. This is the one thing about Heldrakes I really don't like is putting them on these damn bases. It does not like to go on. Come on, man. You don't want to go on. Well, let's see. What do you guys think? Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be fine. I really need to get these, No, thank you so much. I'm just wondering whether or not I should paint the white on the stands or not. I think it'll be fine because the way that it's kind of flecked up, because none of them did I actually get it all the way up. It's almost like it's taking off, you know what I mean? So, I don't think it'll take away too much from the overall look of the model. Though I need to get this basing material off the flight stand. Oops. Yeah, but yeah, I definitely wanted a way to differentiate the 3 drakes. That way it's not like, oh, I'm going to shoot Heldrake on the left. Be like, oh, I'm going to shoot the one with the blue mouth. I'm going to shoot the one with the red mouth. Alright. So, for the bases... Okay, where's my flat brush? Where is my flat brush? There's my flat brush. Alright. So for the bases, I always steal techniques. I stole these techniques from the GW Paint app when I started, and I kind of carried them through all my models. And honestly, they haven't been bad at all. Where the hell's my flat brush? Put away some of these paints, get them out of the way. Nope, that red goes up there. This orange stays down there. Where the hell did my flat brush go? Okay, because this is like a barrel brush. This is not a flat brush. I literally just had it here. I am going crazy. So this one of these is, I need to clean it. Okay, this will be fine. All right, so this will be fine. So I'm basically stealing the, it's the, what is it? Sterling Battlemire, and then you highlight it with Tyrant Skull. Now, this is actually Vallejo paint that I've painted with a dark brown to more or less match what the Sterling Battlemire looks like. But I am still going to highlight it with Tyrant Skull just like I did everything else. So, but let's go ahead and put some of this on here. And I'm just going to lightly dry brush. Now luckily this stuff dries up really, really hard, so I can kind of scrape on it real good to get to have the highlight just kind of catch on everything, you know what I mean? So hopefully you guys can see that. But it looks really nice. I like the way that it looks. So, like I said, I did it with my first few models, and I really liked how it looked. And I just kind of, despite whatever army I'm playing, other than the few Zinch models that I painted slightly differently, and then I did like a Mars theme on my Venom crawlers just to see kind of what it would look like. But other than those, I've pretty much carried this exact same paint scheme through everything. And so I really enjoy it. I like the way that it looks. So, and it also maintains coherency between every one of my armies, because I tend to play a lot of mixed armies. So, now I have kind of gotten away from doing like the putrid pools like I did on my initial run of models. I've more or less moved to a more like using flock and stuff like that, or not flock, tufts. I love tufts so much. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be using tufts, and you guys can help me pick out which tufts I'm going to use on these. But so there we go. So that's more or less dry brushed. And so for the rocks, I'm going to use this Uthuan Gray that I actually brought out earlier. Now, it does end up chalky, but that's why it dry brushes on so well. So even though it's kind of watered down, it's a great dry brush paint. So I'm going to paint a little bit on my hands just to make sure it's good. And then I'm going to just kind of go around the edges of these rocks here to just kind of give them an edge highlight. Now these are cork rocks right here. It actually works out a lot better on chalk, like the chalky bit rocks. So I have different types of rocks on the bases. You'll notice here in a minute. But with the tops of the rocks for the cork rocks, I will actually hit up the tops a little bit with some of my highlight, just to kind of break it up, you know what I mean? That way it doesn't look all the same. And for you guys just joining us, we have finished completing 3 heldrakes, and I'll show you what they look like on the base once we finish the base. And so now that I've gotten all those rocks done, so for all these little bricks that I have on here, now I started out with Scrag Brown. Scrag Brown's like more like an orangey brown. To me, it looks like, if you guys look at this, it looks to me like more or less bricks out of a wall, right? So, but at the same point, it's kind of super brown. So I'm going to highlight it with Jokiro Orange, which is a little more, it's a deeper orange. So hopefully it's not going to be like too pow, because I don't want them to be orange bricks, because bricks out of a wall are more red. But I'm just going to kind of do and this is the only base that needs this, so but I'm just going to kind of just do a very light highlight on these. Oops, need a little bit more. So nobody can say that I half-assed my basing. Actually spend more time doing basing than some other things on models. That's it. So just enough to kind of brighten them up, make them a little more orange. And voila! Now I gotta edge highlight the base, or edge the base, which I always do black. The only time I don't do black is like, so like my Poxwalkers, I realized I had based them all black, and then I've realized that I was getting the squads mixed up, so I actually went through today and rimmed them different colors. That way I stopped getting the squads mixed up, because I was starting to get mad. Like, God, I can't figure out, like, and I would have to leave gaps between the squads when I didn't want to leave gaps to figure out who's who. So I went through and fixed that today. Alright. So at this point, I'm pretty much done with this base, so I'm just going to go ahead around the edge with the black. I also like black a lot because it kind of isolates your eye to just what's on the base, you know what I mean? And so we got 2 more of these to go, and then we get to do some flock. So you guys get to, or tufts. Sorry, tufts, not flock. I don't use flock. I used flock a while, or when I started, and as a matter of fact, some of my older models have them. Tufts are far and away superior. Far and away superior. I got some really nice tufts, so. Almost there. So while the rim is drying on this, I'll go ahead and start painting the other bases. You know what I mean? And this is kind of a way that I never work on one model at a time. I always work on multiple models at a time, if given a chance, because especially when you're doing stuff where it needs to dry, like this step, you know, you don't want any lag time. Because basically, you know, you might lose interest, or something might come up, or, you know, you start watching a TV show and then you're like, yeah, I'll go back to it later. So at which point I can sit that off to the side, right, and then grab my next base and go ahead and get cracking on this guy. Got to go ahead and wash the black out of the brush there. Okay. So for this one, I do have some metals, but I'm going to do the metals last. So I'm going to go ahead and do my Tyrant Skull highlight real quick. And basically we're going to repeat what we just did with the other one. I really like the texture that comes out of the Vallejo. So I use Vallejo base paints now. I'm going to finish using the rest of the Sterling Battlemire that I have for some of the G-Dub models that I'm painting. But after I'm done with those, like I'm literally going to buy just jars of this Dark Earth, because I love the way that this earth... I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's just much more realistic. Ah, God, I way over highlighted that. See. So let me go ahead and just kind of. Oopsie, did a little too heavy of a highlight. But also this Vallejo stuff, it's way easier to work with than the GW stuff too. So, because the chunks in it are a lot smaller, so you can spread it around a lot easier. And it costs a hell of a lot less, because it's $11 for a giant 200 milliliter jar, as opposed to $8 for, what is it, like 20 milliliters of the base paint, or something like that. So, I just vastly improve. I much rather use the Vallejo stuff. And so at this point, that's pretty good. You know what? Let me go ahead and I'll knock out all the Tyrant Skull. That way I can just get it out of the way and be done with it. You know what I mean? So I'll go ahead and just knock out all of them all at once. Yeah. Ah, crap. That is way too much. That would have been bad. That is way too much. So yeah, man, we're getting it done, man. I am so excited. And so if you guys have not, check out our Discord channel. Join up there. Like I said, I will share pictures of this. Of all three of these heldrakes, fully based and completed for your enjoyment. And then the neat thing is that I more or less have painted these almost completely on live stream, other than the base coating, right? Because base coating a heldrake is a very slow and tedious process. So I did those all off camera. But if you guys start at part 1 and like this is part 3, right? I've basically done everything on camera at that point. There's a few steps that I did off camera, like some of the washes, but you more or less get the idea, you know what I mean? Like today I started doing all the highlights this morning and basically carried it on. I didn't do like the, putting on all the base. I did putting on the base paint, but not painting the base paint, you know what I mean? So just kind of showing, the Vallejo and how it works and that sort of stuff. So, and I highly recommend Vallejo base paints. Like they're awesome. Not to take away from GW, but Vallejo's definitely got them cornered on that part. So, and I definitely will never look back. All right. So at this point, both of our bases, right, are I've got that part done. So now I can get rid of the Tyrant Skull. Throw it away. Be done with it. Be gone with thee. Get a clean rag. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and do all the rocks. So at this point, my Uthuan Gray has dried up to the point where it's going to be a lot easier to work with. Sorry. So you guys can see, like, it's very streaky. That's really what I want. Now, these are the chalk rocks. I love chalk rocks because they pick up paint on the edges very, very well. Like, hopefully you guys can see that. I love the way that looks. I bought these from Gale Force 9. I just finally ran out of them. So when I can, I prefer to use these rocks. But cork is definitely a good alternate. You know what I mean? Cork's better for, like, if you want to put a dude on some rocks. But these are better for, like, just random rocks on a whatever, a base, or even like my Typhus and stuff. He's mounted on some of these rocks. They're a lot harder to use because, like, glue doesn't stick to them very well, but to me they look a lot better though than the cork rocks. But that's me. So basically we're just kind of going around those a little bit. Got a few rocks down there. Voila. That's it. Those rocks are done. Boom. Now for the doors on this, like I said, I want it to be kind of corroded. So I've got, luckily, a almost empty bottle of Typhus corrosion here. Yeah, there's enough in here to finish this up. And so I want them to be heavily corroded, so I'm just going to kind of boot, 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 and bloop, 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 bloop. Like they've been here a while, you know what I mean? And so I do need to let the Typhus corrosion actually dry for a little bit. But while we got it out, let's go ahead and do these other silver bits on this base right here, which is just this. I got a hatch from like a rhino here, and a bolter. There we go. That's it. And that's why you're almost empty. Like, the lid won't close anymore, so part of it's dried out. It's kind of funny. It's funny to me. Why don't you guys laugh? God damn it. Make me laugh by myself. Guys. Alright. So, no sense in just letting this sit and wait for the Typhus corrosion, right? So I'm going to go ahead and rim this base. I'm a huge believer in putting a rim on your base, by the way. So, like, you guys spend a lot of time painting your models, and you put a lot of effort into them. And trust me, a painted rim makes the difference. A huge difference. For me, though, I always paint them subdued colors. So, brown, black. Black's always good. Army green. I like army green, depending on, like, what you're trying to do, you know. Like for these bases, brown is really nice because it kind of continues the pattern off the side. I just like the black because it's like a termination point, almost like a painting. You know what I mean? Like basically we're putting a frame on a painting. So that's kind of why I like black myself. And there's that. And boom. Alright, so we've rimmed that base. Let's go ahead and set that off to the side, let it dry. Grab this guy right here. So this guy has the rocks, right? So let's go ahead and do the rocks. We are so close, my friends. We are so very, very close. And this is going to be a wonderful day here on Heretic Wargaming where the heldrakes will be painted. And it's going to be glorious. I can't wait to be done. Uthoan Gray is also really good if you guys are doing snow bases. So, as a matter of fact, I would probably use this for a lot of snowy stuff. Me, I just really use it for my rocks. That's kind of my rocks and some highlights. I use it quite a bit, actually. That's why I bought a whole other pot, because I find that I use it quite a bit, honestly. All right. And so there's those rocks right there too. So, woo! And let's go ahead and rim this base. So once we rim this base, we'll go back to the first base. We'll have to re-rim that base. Hopefully by then the second base is dry. We can rim that again, and then at that point, oh, we gotta actually do the Rise of Rust and stuff on the weapons. Can't forget that. Don't let me forget that. I'll probably do a little bit of Nihilic Oxide too, so I'll have to go grab that out. But, so hopefully you guys are enjoying this stream. I mean, obviously, I've had a lot of people here for quite a while, so it's fantastic. I love when I have people hanging out with me. And so if you guys did not know, we do live streams on Sundays where I break down the meta for Chaos. I actually talk about lists that are doing well across the globe. So I don't just centralize here in the U.S. I talk about everybody. I've seen some really, really cool lists coming out of the UK and Australia, and it's really cool. So if you guys are into that sort of thing, competitive 40K, I talk about that stuff on Sundays. We also do a lot of discussion, so Q&A. So, no, that is true. You can't call it done until the rim's painted. I kind of skip a few steps and do the rim first, but that's mostly because I don't want to wait. Like I said, if I sit idle, then I'll end up like doing other stuff. Like the worst thing ever is when I'm waiting for something to paint or waiting for something to dry, and I'll look over on my shelf and I'm like, oh hey, this model needs painted, and I just start painting another model, and it's like, wait a minute, I was just painting that thing over there. That's actually what happened with my obliterators. Is I got them like 90% done, and then I started painting something else, and then they sat unfinished for like 2 months, and then I just finally finished them the other day. So. Okay, so back to the first base where we're going to finish the rimming. If you guys are laughing out there every time I say we're going to finish the rimming, well, then you're just as childish as me, because I just thought of that. I just thought of that. I was like, I just keep saying let's finish the rimming. That could be taken many, many ways. Many, many ways. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So on Sundays, we do break down the meta, talk about lists that are doing well all over the world. It's at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So tends to be pretty good. I get a lot of viewers from the UK that tune in. But yeah, we talk all about like meta lists, do Q&A. Give updates on the channels, like battle reports and stuff that are coming out here on Heretic Wargaming. Just everything, you know what I mean? So if you guys are really into Chaos and like that's your thing, that's your jam, is competitive 40K, come hang out with me, you know what I mean? I don't just do paint streams here very poorly. I joke. I know I'm not terrible. There's definitely worse people out there than me. Okay, well those rooms are still drying. So, well, crap. We got to the point I didn't want to get to, where I ran out of something to paint for a second. So we're gonna have to give it a few seconds, let it dry up. That'll give me time to. I'm out of water. Let's see, is my coffee empty? Now my coffee's empty. Now I'm out of drinks. That's neat. Okay, I might be able to do. Yeah, I can finish rimming this one. But yeah, so come hang out with us on Sundays too, and I do it every week. So if you guys can't make this week, and it's always up, but we have been slowly getting more and more people involved. A lot more people are tuning in for that sort of thing. So, which is awesome. I love to have people on for the live streams. And maybe if you guys are stuck on a list idea or something, maybe somebody out there has solved a list that, or has a list that tickles your fancy, and maybe it's something that you've been playing around with your head, but you can't just quite wrap your head around like how you want to do it. As some examples, I've been looking really hard into running Emperor's Children Terminators, and I actually saw a list last week that more or less ran exactly what I was thinking of running, but somebody had managed to actually take first at a tournament with it, and I really, really, really liked the way that it looked. I haven't put it on the table, obviously, because I'm working on my own versions of lists with Poxwalkers and stuff, but it's definitely something I want to toy with. So, but yeah, I mean, I get list ideas too when I do my live streams. It's funny. So if anything, I'm getting excited about things that I can run. So it's pretty funny. All right, so go back through, rim this guy one more time. Ah, crap. So this black is really watered down, so it's not fully like holding on here on the edge here. There we go. I might have a few places that could use a touch up, but it'll be all right. All right. Oop. Almost done. Okay, there's that. No, and see, I've actually seen some people win with Death Guard, and I cover, if it's a list that it stands out, right, like somebody wins an event with Death Guard, or somebody takes first with Thousand Suns, or anything like that. Like, I don't just cover like, oh hey, here's this meta list that everybody's running. I do cover variants of that. Everybody was running Possessed Bombs there for a while. They're still not nearly as common though. They're still a thing though. But I will, like, if I see a Death Guard list that's winning right now, because obviously Death Guard is a little less optimal than some other things that we can run, but which is really sad because Death Guard is my favorite. But yeah, I'll cover, like, I 100% will pull up their list and we will talk about it. And I spend like an hour and a half on Sunday morning going through literally every list for the last week for tournaments to bring you guys all the cool lists that are out there. So, Failer returns! Welcome back, buddy. It's okay. Nurgle's gift has been keeping me company, so he replaced you when you left me to go do whatever you did. Now for my rust, I like to, sorry, I was talking. I do water down Rise of Rust and put it in here. What it does is when it dries, it's going to dry a lot less POW than Rise of Rust, and then I'm going to go through and actually dry brush it too. What it does is it just gives different layers of a rust color, and then at the same point, like the watered down Rise of Rust actually will get into crevices and stuff that normal Rise of Rust doesn't get into. So it looks really cool. This is actually an idea somebody gave me at the game store. They're like, oh yeah, I'd water it down when I do it. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And so I started doing it, and I love it. So, and it's something that I've kind of carried forward onto a lot of my models. So. That's funny. That's a good one. I like that one. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to get some Nihilic Oxide out too. That's too funny. Now, Nihilic Oxide to me is way too, it's way too BAM. I absolutely don't like putting it on pure. So I actually water down my Nihilic Oxide all the time. I think that without it being watered down, it's just way too, I don't even know how to explain it. It just stands out way too much for me, for my liking. So I'm actually just kind of watering it down a little bit. That is funny, though. Y'all make me laugh. Okay, just putting a little bit on the weapons here, and voila. Alright, so there's that. And then we gotta go ahead and dry brush the Rise of Rust on there. So like I said, I wash it, basically water it down and put it on there, and then I go ahead and do like a very, very light dry brush of it. So if you guys can hopefully see that a little bit, but basically it just kind of lightens it up some, and then when I go over it, it's going to have the POW, like Rise of Rust areas. Sometimes, depending on like what I'm trying to do with the corrosion, I'll dry brush it brown too on top, but for this I'm not. Yeah, I think Rise of Rust, it does a lot for it. For me, Nihilic Oxide is just way too, like, hopefully you guys can see how it's kind of getting down into the crevices there, but it's going to be a lot lighter than what you're used to seeing. And I just prefer it that way. But that's just me, it's a personal thing. And it's just something, like the Nihilic Oxide thing, that's just something because I would use it and I'd be like, oh, I just hate how bright it is. Because I get it, like copper and stuff, if copper corrodes, it's super BAM, like if you've ever seen corroded copper. But like normal metal though, like the Nihilic Oxide is more or less for like copper, if you want to get really technical. But some people, I think that they overdo it. And then, so hopefully you guys can see there with the guns and stuff. Ah, crap. I got a little bit of whatever that is. Okay. Our basing is kaputs. We are done. We are done with basing. Fantastic. And so we're going to go ahead and put some tufts on. You guys get to help me out. So this is where I need audience participation. So at this point, I am done painting. So and like I said, I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna try to get the heldrakes on the bases. If you guys noticed earlier, I was struggling with that. But we're gonna get the heldrakes on the bases. I need to actually clean some paint brushes, but that's a later problem. That's not a right now problem. Okay, get all this out of the way, and let's get some tufts out, shall we? Put this up there. And then we'll do like a full view of these. Alright, let's get some tufts. So now, I prefer to use, so these are Shadow's Edge Miniatures Tufts. And I have a lot of different things that we get to pick from here. So, I've got plague flowers. So these are plague flowers here. These are my leftover army painter ones, which I'm slowly using. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting all the tufts out. I need to actually buy more now. I've used so many. Okay, so these are all of our tufts. Alright, so we got some rocky ones here. These are pretty cool. I like them. I think I am going to use up the rest of these. So let's go ahead and use up the rest of these first. And then afterwards, we can go ahead and pick out some other stuff. So how many of these do I have? I have 5. So I think I'll put 2 of these ones on this guy. I got exactly 6, so I'll put 2 of each of these. Now, like the army painter ones are really cheap. I'm not saying cheap as in like not quality. They're actually pretty good. These were the first ones I used, and I still really enjoy them. However, so let me put these on here real quick, and then I'll kind of show you guys. Now, they obviously kind of do the effect that we want, right? But let me go ahead and show you like the difference in quality here. So here's the Shadow's Edge ones, right? And so they're just very basic, and there's not much to them. And so I'm going to put them next to, I'll just use these as an example. So then these are the Shadow's Edge ones. Now you can see that, you know, as far as the grass goes, they're basically the same thing. But these Shadow Edge ones, they have like all these rocks down here, which is really cool. It makes it look like the grass is growing out of the rocks. So I really enjoy them. So we have a lot of options though. So I also have all these flowers. So these are the plague flowers right here. So they're like green and blue, greenish blue, like almost a pale color. So these are great for Nurgle. Like I use the hell out of these on Nurgle models because that's actually what they're for, plague flowers. And I got tons of those. But we also have lots of other flowers. So I'll let you guys vote what color flowers and stuff we should put on. So we've got blue, we've got white, we've got pink and orange. We got yellow. We've got, I think that's like a, it's like a light blue, like an off-white. I don't know. It's like a light blue. We got purple and we got red. So which color do you guys want me to put on these bases? I'll let you guys vote. But while you guys are voting, I'm going to go ahead and put the last 2 ones of the army painter ones on this base right here. Yeah, they're super, super cool. Yeah, they're super cool. They're just really kind of expensive. It was like $25 for all these. That was while they were on sale because it was buy 2 get 1 free. So that's why I have all the flowers. Because my wife actually wants these for her puppies, her dogs that I was painting. So, or I am painting, as a matter of fact. So which one of these do you guys want me to use? Like I said, I have a lot of different options here to kind of mess with. I don't think the green ones would work. Oh, that is a brilliant idea, Nurgle's Gift. I love that idea. That is awesome. Do you agree with that idea there, Failer? So let's see. Let me figure out whose base is whose. It'll also help me too, because I think that their bases only fit on certain ones. So like he's not going on that one. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what bases these guys go on. There we go. Okay, so the blue one's going to go on this one. Now that's brilliant. I love that idea. So we're going to go ahead and mix up So I like that idea. So the yellow too. So, because blue and yellow go together well, right? So let's go ahead and do some blue. Then I'll just do a blue one, blue tuft. Like right there. And the cool thing too, I don't know if you guys can tell, they sparkle. They actually have some sparkles in them, almost like dew or frost or something's in them. So we'll do a blue one, a yellow one, just to kind of give it a pop of color. And another blue one. Oh, that is a brilliant idea. I love that idea. What do you guys think? So for this one, we've got the 2 blue flowers on this side. We got a little tuft of a proof of yellow ones. So whenever I push these down, I actually like to use a paintbrush, if I can, to kind of push down in the middle. Because more or less they use like a super or like a little sticky pad to kind of hold them there. So hopefully he's... There we go. So there's that one there. There's that one there. So what do you think? So there is a finished base. So these are Shadow's Edge miniatures. So you can find them online. And yeah, I mean, they make amazing. These are really good. Now the only problem I've had with them, I've had this problem really bad with the plague flowers. You can actually see the flowers would actually tear off. Nope, no PVA glue at all. They just have basically a sticky pad on the backside, and you just kind of push it down, and it just dries in place. So, all right, so that's the blue guy's base. Let's figure out for green. So green. Okay, this one's gonna be green. All right, so for the green one, obviously I guess I'll do the plague flowers. Come on. And it sticks to your finger real bad sometimes when you're trying to put them on. All right. So yeah, this one's going to use plague flowers because this is the closest to green that I have. So let's go ahead and put one there. And I'm going to go ahead and put one on the back side here. Ow. So see, this one just tore. And it's only been the plague flowers that I've had this issue with. I have not had this issue with any others. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to email the company and let them know that, hey, these plague flowers are just kind of tearing. I haven't had this issue with any of the other, like their tufts, the other tufts have been fine. It's just been the plague flowers. So, all right, so we got the blue ones. I kind of want to break it up a little bit from the green. So let's do one of these, a couple of the white ones. Do a bit of white right here. You can also use like a... Because, I mean, you can use, like, tweezers or whatever, however you want to stick them down, so. Just making sure those plague flowers are good. All right. And so there's our Tufts of Grass for this one. Boom. Yeah, no, they're really awesome, and I love them. And like I said, I was turned on to these by a buddy of mine, Joe. He's actually a world-class painter. He won Warzone Atlanta for the painting competition. He is just, his painting is phenomenal. Like I have nothing on him. Also, he spends like 100 hours per model. It's insane. But he's the one that turned me on to this. He actually uses these for all of his models. He uses their leaves. He uses all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, you'll have to see if that's the right call, man. I don't know if it is. I'll cross my fingers for you. I hope it works out. Crap. Okay. Here, put this red one right there. So I think between those rocks would be really cool. Like I said, I just kind of push them down a little bit. And that's it. They stick right there. So 2 red, and let's do a pink. I haven't been using pink, so let's use a pink one. This is kind of an empty part of the base. That's good. Just put it out in the middle there. We'll put a pink one, and we'll put a little rock tuft next to it too. Just to kind of lighten it up or give it a little bit of character right there. That's it. And so we'll go ahead and bring them all out so you guys can see them all. There's our bases. Frick yeah, man. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to show you guys the completed product. So bear with me. Might get a little nauseating here in a second because I got to move the camera. Make sure I close that up. Also, watch out. If you guys buy these, they will squish in the corners here. So I am going to email them about these, though, because these plague flowers keep tearing. So, and I don't know if that's a thing that they know that they do, but I have run out of my army painter ones, though, finally. That's a sad day. I should probably go buy some more. Yeah. All right, let's put the heldrakes on their bases and show you guys how they look. So bear with me for a second. Okay. I'm so excited right now. This is the first time I've completely finished the models on stream. Usually I finish them off stream, you know what I mean? So, who left? Somebody literally just left. Like, we're about to show the finished product and you're gonna leave me? Yeah, well. Maybe they had something come up. Alright, so let's get the drakes onto the bases. Boom. Let's see, where's number 2? I'm getting people joining as I'm showing off the finished product. They get to see the fruits of many days' labor. Oh, come on, man. Okay. Like, these heldrakes are really finicky when it comes to their bases. And I don't know why. Come on, man. There we go. Oh, it crashed for you? Don't leave me, damn it. Alright. We're showing off the finished product, and it's going to be fabulous. 3 heldrakes. It was too epic for them. Alright, so like I said, it's going to get a little nauseating because I'm going to move this camera. So bear with me, guys. I'm going to kind of swivel this around. Yeah. And let's go ahead and I'm going to adjust this up some. Okay. And then I got to go ahead and adjust it down some. And so I'm going to bring up the my app. That way I can see what you guys are seeing. And so Let's go ahead and actually close me out too. View capturing device. There we go. All right. And so, come on, man, focus in. Okay. And so there you guys go. So there's the finished green one. As you guys can see a little bit down there. This is trying to focus in on the laptop or something like that. There we go. Sorry, I'm just having a hard time getting it to focus. There we go. So, there we go. Now you guys can see them. So you guys can see them in all of their glory. So let's go ahead and pivot him around a bit. So a lot of work went into this guy. So much damn work. But I will have pictures up on the Facebook page of him. So there's that one. Now we got the red one here. So you guys can kind of see how the basing turned out there. And once again, let's go ahead and just kind of pivot him a little bit. So you guys can kind of see a side profile there. So that's how he turned out. And then lastly, the blue one's actually probably my favorite one. I actually really like how he turned out. Sorry, gotta get to refocus. Come on. Okay, there we go. There we go. So you guys can see him there. And there we go. Come on. This thing is not having a good time focusing right now. Oh, I bet you $10 it's because of this. Boom. Nope, it's not. There we go. And so you guys can see all the heldrakes in their magnificence. So, perhaps, as a celebration, maybe I'll make a list with all three of them and take them out for a stroll. Yeah! Alright, I'm going to go ahead and bring me back up and close this guy out. Oh, man. So I couldn't see if anybody was commenting or anything. I got to get this back in place. There we go. Yeah. So, I'm coming back to the thing. So, no, thank you guys so much. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed them. So, if you guys enjoyed this paint stream, please like it. The more likes I get, right, generates more people. I will get pictures of all three of these up on the Facebook. So, on the Facebook and on the Discord. So, if you guys really want to see them up close, you know, I tried my best with the camera, but obviously it wasn't focusing in too well. Now, the next painting projects are going to be some pink horrors. So I'll just kind of show you guys one rough one right here. So he's actually fully dry brushed. I've actually got him to basically the point where I just need to do the details of the pink horrors. So I've got 30 of these I need to knock out. And then I also need to knock out one HQ. And then most likely I've got 30 bloodletters behind me that I need to do too. So reason why I'm kind of knocking out demons, even though it's not something that I'm using right now, with the Psychic Awakening coming, I just kind of want to be prepared. That way I can throw those, and I still have another 30 Plague Bearers to do, but that's a later problem, right? So hopefully you guys enjoyed the live stream. Man, this has been a long journey. Each one of these guys took, I would probably say I spent over 12 hours per guy. So, I mean, this is a cumulative almost 2 days worth of work. And it's over. It is finally over. You guys can stop hearing me bitch about heldrakes. It's a glorious day. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like I said, tomorrow we'll have a live stream like normal. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and being here. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Discord. And if you guys really enjoyed this, check us out on Patreon. Because, you know, hey, I'll always take a few bucks. But man, I am so excited right now. And I'm so happy. And I'm so glad you guys are able to join me here tonight. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and close this up. Let me get some pictures of these out on the interwebs, and I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow.